Fairborn. Well, Fairborn is one of those places that time has just forgotten. A lot of people in the village don't lock their cars, don't lock their doors, got no need to. Everybody is just so friendly, and it's just such a lovely place to live.
Sandwiched between the mountains of Snowdonia and the Irish Sea on the west coast of Wales, Fairborn's beauty is obvious, but so is its vulnerability.
Good morning. How are we? Okay?
Stuart Eaves runs the local campsite. He moved to the village 50 years ago for a calmer way of life. But after the council revealed a plan to demolish the town because it couldn't afford to protect it from rising sea levels, the calm turned to panic.
The first people in the village knew was when it came on television. And to actually be told something like that your village was, as far as they was concerned, damned, you were going to flood. House prices tumbled 40% overnight.
Fairborn's 800 residents were widely labelled Britain's first climate refugees.
Just what do you do with 400 families? Where do you put them?
What was the most devastating thing about this, do you think?
The way it was handled.
In 2014, Gwynedd Council revealed it would not defend Fairborn from flooding after 2054, and the whole village would be decommissioned, meaning all homes, roads and shops would be dismantled and surrendered to the sea. But it didn't have a plan for what it would do with the families who lived there.
A lot of people were actually trapped here because they couldn't sell the houses. People lost 50, 60, 70,000 pounds overnight on their houses. Some people went bust.
Many families moved away, but for young people who stayed, like 22-year-old Adam Hamilton, it's impossible to get a mortgage.
Unfortunately, for a lot of younger people who maybe have grown up here, maybe want to then go on to buy their own house around here, it's not really possible, at least in the village, just because the mortgage brokers, they don't believe that they can guarantee like the kind of lifespan of the house, just because of the flood risk.
But that hasn't stopped some people from moving in.
When I announced I was actually going to be moving here, my niece was in hysterics. She'd heard it described as the village of the damned. And then somebody else said, isn't that the Atlantis of Wales?
Eleanor has no regrets. She refuses to accept the village will be lost to the sea.
I couldn't see the time frame being suitable or accurate. And I just thought, you know what, if it ever happens, probably not even going to be in my lifetime. And there are other areas around the coast that, as far as I'm concerned, are far more under threat than we are.
Fairborn's not suffered significant tidal flooding in its history, but Gwynedd Council told the ABC Fairborn faces increasing risks of flooding in the future. There are uncertainties around the resilience of existing defences, their costs and longevity.
You don't have to spend long in Fairbourne to see how much this place means to the people who live here. But as the village grapples with whether it should tear itself down before the sea does, it highlights the growing climate challenge, one that more communities will soon have to reckon with.
Climate experts say hundreds of millions of people face displacement due to climate impacts by 2050.
We're increasingly seeing that sea defences that have been engineered maybe to protect against, say, a 1 in 100 or even 1 in 1,000 year event are actually becoming inadequate due to the ongoing and increasingly rapid rate of sea level rise.
But on the front line in Fairborn, residents feel unfairly singled out.
A lot of the older people in particular still feel uncertain, a bit insecure about what's going to happen next.
Stuart says the council now claims it'll protect the town from flooding for as long as it has the finances to. But residents aren't waiting for a guarantee.
If you talk to the people in the village, it's, yeah, well, if it's going to happen, bring it on, because we're not moving.
Even if the sea does. Bridget Rollison, ABC News, Fairborn.